हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू स्टडी स्पार्क ट्यूटोरियल्स। तो आज हम देखने वाले क्लास 10 का साइंस का पार्ट 2 का चैप्टर नंबर 2 लाइफ प्रोसेसेस इन लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स पार्ट 1 के क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स। तो जो भी हम आंसर्स देखेंगे वो शार्ट में रहेंगे ताकि आपको लर्निंग में भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, फिलिंग द ब्लैंक्स एंड एक्सप्लेन द स्टेटमेंट। ए, after complete oxidation of glucose molecules 38 number of ATP molecules are formed. B, at the end of glycolysis pyruvic acid, ATP, NADH2 and water molecules are obtained. C, genetic recombination occurs in a Pachyteny phase of prophase of meiosis 1. D, all chromosomes are arranged parallel to equatorial plane of cell in a metaphase of mitosis. E, for formation of plasma membrane, phospholipid molecule are necessary. F, our muscle cell perform anaerobic type of respiration during exercise. Question 2, write definitions. A, nutrition, the process by which organisms take up nutrients and utilize these nutrients for various biological activities is called nutrition. B, nutrients, the substances like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, lipids, etc., which are components of the food are called nutrients. Nutrients help us to stay healthy. C, proteins. Proteins are type of biomolecules which are made up of several amino acids which are linked together by peptide bonds. D, cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is the process in which respiratory substances such as starch, glucose, fats and proteins are broken down to release energy. E, aerobic respiration. The process by which the breakdown of carbohydrate occurs in the presence of oxygen resulting in the release of energy in the form of ATP is called aerobic respiration. F, glycolysis. The process occurring in the cell where a molecule of glucose is oxidized in step-by-step process forming two molecules of each of pyruvic acid, ATP, NADH and water is called glycolysis. Question 3, distinguish between A, glycolysis and TCA cycle. So let's see the answer. यहाँ पे मैंने पहले ग्लाइकोलाइसिस का दिए हैं पॉइंट्स और फिर टीसीए साइकिल के, आप इसे चार्ट के फॉर्म में भी लिख सकते हो. सो फर्स्ट यहाँ पे है द प्रोसेस ऑफ ग्लाइकोलाइसिस ऑकर्स इन द साइटोप्लाज्म ऑफ द सेल एंड टीसीए में क्या होता है, टीसीए साइकिल टेक्स प्लेस इन द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. In glycolysis, one molecule of glucose is oxidized step by step to produce two molecules of each of pyruvic acid, ATP, NADH2 and water. Same TCA cycle में क्या होता है, molecule of acetyl CoA in completely oxidized and in the process CO2, H2O, NADH2, FADH2 and ATP is produced. Two molecules of pyruvate are obtained in the glycolysis and pyruvate is converted into CO2 and H2O during the TCA cycle. Four molecules of ATP are produced in glycolysis and two molecules of ATP are produced in TCA cycle. And CO2 is not produced during the glycolysis and CO2 is produced in TCA cycle. B, mitosis and meiosis. आंसर देखते हैं, यहाँ पे पहले माइटोसिस के पॉइंट्स दिए फिर बाद में मियोसिस के. देखते हैं डिफरेंस क्या है. In mitosis, the chromosome number does not change. Diploid cells remain diploid without change. But in meiosis, the chromosome number is reduced to half. The diploid cells become haploid. One cell give rise to two daughter cells in mitosis, but one cell give rise to four daughter cells in meiosis. Genetic recombination does not happen in mitosis as there is no crossing over. Genetic recombination takes place in homologous chromosome as there is a crossing over during prophase 1. Mitosis is essential for growth and development and meiosis is essential for formation of gametes. Mitosis takes place both in somatic cells and germinal cells and meiosis takes place in only germinal cells. It does not take place in somatic cells. Aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Answers देखते हैं. Aerobic respiration के points है. Oxygen is required for aerobic respiration, but oxygen is not required for anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration takes place in nucleus as well as in cytoplasm, and anaerobic respiration occurs only in cytoplasm. At the end of the aerobic respiration, CO2 and H2O is formed. And at the end of anaerobic respiration, CO2 and C2H5OH are formed. 38 molecules of ATP are formed during the aerobic respiration and 2 molecules of ATP are formed during the anaerobic respiration. Chemical reaction क्या है aerobic respiration का? C6H12O6 plus 6O2, it gives 6H2O plus 6CO2 and 686 kilocalorie. Anaerobic respiration का chemical reaction है C6H12O6, it gives the 2C2H5OH plus 2CO2 and 50 kilocalories. Question number 4, give scientific reasons. A. Oxygen is necessary for complete oxidation of glucose. Answer है during cellular respiration, three processes occur: glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain reaction. Second, in the absence of oxygen, only glycolysis can continue. Third, if glycolysis happens in the absence of oxygen, it creates alcohol. Fourth, anaerobic glycolysis produces just two molecules of ATP. Therefore, oxygen is required for full oxidation of glucose. अभी यहाँ पे देखो 2 मार्क का अगर आपको क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है तो आप 4 पॉइंट लिखना है आपको. अगर 3 मार्क्स को क्वेश्चन आते हैं, साइंटिफिक रीजन ज्यादातर 2 मार्क्स को ही पूछते हैं, बट अगर 3 मार्क्स के लिए आया तो हमें 6 पॉइंट्स लिखना पड़ेगा. बी, fibers are one of the important nutrients. Answer, fibers are one of the important nutrients because they help in the digestion of food. They help in the digestion of undigested substances, which is also reason why we are advised to have a fiber-rich food in case of constipation. Fibers are naturally present on leafy vegetables, fruits, cereals, etc. इसलिए हम ज्यादातर रोटी वगैरह ये खाते हैं क्योंकि उसमें ज्यादातर फाइबर्स होते हैं. C. Cell division is one of the important properties of cells and organisms. Answer. Cell division is very essential for all living organisms. The growth and development possible only due to the cell division. Offspring is produced through the cell division. In asexual reproduction, mitosis helps to give rise to new generation. In sexual reproduction, meiosis help to form haploid gametes. All such functions show that cell division is important properties of cells and organisms. D. Sometimes higher plants and animals to perform anaerobic respiration. Answer. When there is a deficiency of oxygen in the surrounding, the aerobic respiration is not possible. In such a case, to survive, higher plants switch over to anaerobic respiration. In some animals, tissue in case of oxygen deficiency cells perform anaerobic respiration, although the energy obtained through anaerobic respiration is less as compared to the energy released during the aerobic respiration. E. Krebs cycle is also known as a citric acid cycle. Answer. First, Sir Hans Krebs proposed this cycle and hence it is called Krebs cycle. Second, sequence of cyclic chain reaction that starts with oxaloacetic acid molecule reacting with acetyl coenzyme A molecules. Third, certain enzymes aid in the catalysis of processes. Citric acid is the first molecule to produce in this process. Thus, the citric acid cycle is another name for the Krebs cycle. Question number 5. Answer in detail. A. Explain the glycolysis in detail. Answer. First, glycolysis was first given by Embeden, Mayer and Parnes and is referred as a EMP pathway. This process occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell and is present in all living organisms. In this pathway, carbohydrates are converted to glucose after the process of digestion is completed. The oxidation of glucose for releasing energy is called glycolysis. Glycolysis can occur in presence of oxygen or without oxygen too. The first type of glycolysis takes place in aerobic respiration and the second type is in anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, there is a stepwise oxidation of glucose molecule forming two molecules of pyruvic acid, ATP, NADH2 and water. Here, the pyruvic acid formed in the process is converted into molecules of acetyl coenzyme A with two molecules of NADH2 and two molecules of CO2. During anaerobic respiration, along with the glycolysis, there is a fermentation too. This is incomplete oxidation of glucose and thus it results in formation of lesser energy. B. With the help of suitable diagrams, explain the mitosis in detail. Let's see the answer. There are two stages of mitosis. These are chirokinesis or nuclear division and cytokinesis or cytoplasmic division. Chirokinesis takes place in a further 4 phases viz prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Chirokinesis में ये 4 phases होते हैं. तो देखते हैं पहले phase prophase क्या है. In prophase, chromosomes condense and become visible as sister chromatids. Centrioles move to opposite poles in animal cell and the nuclear membrane and nucleolus disappear. Second, metaphase. Chromosome fully condense and align at the equatorial plane. Spindle fibers form centrioles attached to their centromeres. The nuclear membrane completely disappears. Third, anaphase. Centromeres divide and spindle fibers pull daughter chromosomes to opposite poles. Chromosomes move like bunches of bananas. Each pole gets one set by end of the anaphase. 4. Telophase. Telophase is the reverse of prophase. Chromosomes decondense, nuclear membrane and nucleolus reappears and spindle fibers disappear and the cell appears to have 2 nuclei. B. Cytokinesis. In animal cells, a notch forms and deepens to divide the cytoplasm. In plant cell, a cell plate forms first and followed by cytokinesis. C. With the help of suitable diagrams, explain the 5 stages of prophase 1 of meiosis. So let's see the answer. Prophase 1. Prophase 1 of meiosis is much longer phase of the meiosis. It is subdivided into 5 substages, namely lipotine, zygotine, pachytine, diplotine and dikinesis. So let's see lipotine first. Initially the chromosomes start condensation and they become compact during the lipotine. Zygotine, homologous chromosome pair through synapses with the help of a synaptonymal complex. Pair forms a structure called bivalent or tetrad. Pachytine, crossing over occur between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes, leading to genetic recombination. Chromosomes remain paired at a crossover sites. Diplotine, synaptomal complex dissolves and homologous chromosomes start separating but remain attached at a X-shaped point called chiasmata. Fifth, dikinesis. Chiasmata terminates, spindle fibers form and homologous chromosome starts separating. The nucleolus disappears and the nucleate envelope breaks down. D. How do all the life process contribute to the growth and development of the body? Answer. Different system works in a coordination with each other in the body of the living organisms. Digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system, nervous system in the body work independently but in coordination with each other. The digested and absorbed nutrients of the food are transported to various cells with the help of circulatory system due to pumping of the heart. Mitochondria in every cell brings about oxidation of nutrients and produce energy required for all of these functions. The control is exercised by the nervous system on all these actions. This keeps the organism alive and help in growth and development of the same. E. Explain the Krebs cycle with reaction. Answer. Krebs cycle was proposed by Sir Hans Krebs. It is also called a tricarboxylic acid cycle or citric acid cycle. The acetyl coenzyme A molecule enter the mitochondria located in the cytoplasm. They participate in the chemical reaction taking place in Krebs cycle. In the cyclic chemical reaction, acetyl coenzyme A is completely oxidized. It yields molecules of CO2, H2O, NADH2, FADH2 and ATP upon complete oxidation. Question number 5. How energy is formed from oxidation of carbohydrates, fats and proteins? Let's see the correct diagram. बॉटम से हम स्टार्ट करेंगे. यहाँ पे दिए हैं 3 प्रोटीन, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स एंड लिपिड्स. सो प्रोटीन्स which is made up of amino acid, so it gives acetyl CoA. Carbohydrates, glycolysis and pyruvic acid and acetyl CoA, and lipids इससे fatty acid और वो acetyl CoA में convert हो जाता है. Then acetyl CoA again goes into Krebs cycle which gives us CO2, H2O and energy. Okay student, that's it for today's video. Hope you like this video. Then do like, comment and share. And for more such videos, subscribe to Study Spark Tutorials. We will meet in next video. Till that, keep learning.